Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for today's video. I hope that you're well and safe. My name's Emily and today I'm going to do a walkthrough of the True Heart Intuitive Tarot by Rachel True. Many of you, I'm sure, have already seen walkthroughs of this deck, or you may not have seen a walkthrough but you will be aware of it. Many of you will also know Rachel True from being one of the actresses from the original film The Craft. And for me, that movie was so impactful, and obviously, although most of it is not realistic in any kind of way, it did spark my interest in the craft when I was 11. And so I started reading about witchcraft at that age and I delved into it and I started practicing. I learned as much as I could from the limited resources that I could get my hands on. But it did spark a journey, and so for that, you know, when I heard that Rachel was creating her own deck, I was just thrilled and I really wanted to get it. And then the art is just beautiful and it wasn't too expensive when I picked it up. I picked it up at the end of 2020 and I'm just really excited to have it. I also saw an interview with Auryn on his YouTube channel with Rachel True, which was so enjoyable. So I will try to remember to link that below because it was so good to watch that and listen to some of her perspectives about tarot and witchcraft and the community. And also Auryn's fantastic. I absolutely love his book and I love listening to him. I think he's full of wisdom and knowledge, and it was so lovely to see him interview her as well. So that was a real treat, a real highlight before Christmas. I enjoyed that interview a lot, so I'll try and remember to link it below. So this is the box that the deck comes in, and it's not a typical box because you can see it's sort of more rudimental, I think, in a way. It's almost like a crafting box. So it's not as nicely finished as some boxes, but I quite like the style. As you can see, it's quite unfinished inside, and I think many people probably would dispose of this. I will keep it in the box for as long as I can. We have this lovely glossy book here, which is quite nice and juicy and thick. Let's see, have we got any colour images? No colour, but good size images and lots to delve into, which obviously Rachel wrote the book. And the artist, the illustrations are by Stephanie Singleton. So it's written on the back of the box. So I have unwrapped this and looked at it, but obviously they're still in order. But this is how the cards came, and I will say they are obviously part of a different print run because they don't go together, and you can tell where the split is. You can see that if I put them together like that, there is a split, natural split. So whether or not that puts anyone off, I'm not entirely sure, but that is how it comes. I'm sure once it's all shuffled it won't make much of a difference, but at this point in time you can see where the divide is and that it's a different print run. And also there is a slight kind of irregularity to the card size here, I think, slightly. There's some corners that are a little bit, but it's a mass market deck, so that's just something that sometimes happens, and I'm fine with it, to be honest with you. So these are the backs, and you can see we've got the suits on here, and it's sort of semi-gloss matte. But yeah, a nice quality. They're not too thick. I think that they probably will riffle shuffle really beautifully. So here we have the full. This is a very typical Rider-Waite-Smith depiction, a bit like a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. I really like the illustrative qualities of this deck. I like the simplicity of the drawings, but they are still very detailed and beautiful as well. And I really like the diversity within the deck as well. And things are just slightly switched up. There's different beautiful patterns. This is stunning. The Empress, oh my goodness. Actually, that reminds me of Rachel True with her hair and her face. I think that's very much like Rachel True. And the dress is just beautiful. So you've still got a lot of the symbology there, but that's not a typical kind of Emperor card. So you do have slight deviations, but it's very simple to read this deck alongside the Rider-Waite-Smith meanings, I think. That's just a beautiful lover's card. The Chariot. I have a feeling that I will enjoy reading for others with this deck quite a lot. I think it lends itself really well to that, especially people sort of my age and maybe younger as well. I think that the artwork would appeal to slightly younger audiences, not that it, you know, means that older audiences can't enjoy it either. Hanged Man. I love this death card. I did say in one of my prompt videos, VRs, to Ethany Dawn's 31 Days of Tarot, that the death card is one of the cards that I look for first. In fact, it is the first card I look for. And when I did see this death card, I knew I had to have this deck. I mean, I wanted it anyway before that, to be honest, but I just love this. It's so intense and you can just delve into this. It has Santa Muerte type vibes for me. Just beautiful. Temperance. The Devil. Again, kind of similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith, but slightly more modern and slightly different again. The Tower. I really like the eye at the centre, at the top there. The Star. The Moon. I love this kind of esoteric symbology here. I'm really excited to read the guidebook as well and learn more about some of the symbology used within the deck. I like this Judgment card a lot. I think that's very pretty. Oh, the World. Now that is a favourite. That is such a beautiful World card. Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. Three of Cups. This is a lovely card. Four of Cups. Now this is interesting. There's going to be a lot to delve into here, I think. I like this Five of Cups as well. There's sort of new ways to look at some of the depictions of the cards. Six of Cups. Seven of Cups. Eight of Cups. Nine of Cups. I just love the psychedelic prints. That's just so vibrant and beautiful. And a lovely Ten of Cups as well. And you'll notice the court cards have these borders with these little details on the edges as well. So your princess is your page, your prince is your knight, your queen is your queen, and your king is your king. A very young king and queen, particularly young king, I would say. Beautiful Ace of Discs. I love the Two of Discs, that's stunning. I often think of walking on a tightrope, actually, when I think of the Two of Discs. Beautiful. There's a lot to delve into as well with some of these cards, I think, which is really nice. Wow. Nine of Discs. That's very beautiful. I really do like that one. The Nine of Pentacles is a card that does stalk me quite frequently. Ten of Discs, or Pentacles. Princess of Pentacles, so your page. Your prince is your knight, and again we've got these motifs along the edge. Your Queen of Discs. Your King of Discs. Ace of Wands. I love this Phoenix. Two of Wands. Three of Wands. Four of Wands. Beautiful. Wow, that is a great card. I really like that depiction of the Five of Wands. Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. Nine of Wands. Ten of Wands. Princess of Wands. Prince of Wands. Oh, she's so stunning. This Queen of Wands. King of Wands. Ace of Swords. Two of Swords. Three of Swords. I like that depiction. Four of Swords. Five of Swords. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. Interesting. Like it. 8. That one's beautiful. You really, really do see the anguish here. The 9 of Swords. The 10 of Swords, I like this one a lot. She looks like Medusa. Princess of Swords. Prince of Swords. Beautiful Queen of Swords. And King of Swords. So let's shuffle up the deck and do a little reading. So we're just going to ask for a message for the collective that's timeless, so that we can get an energy for the collective and a message. Wow, okay, so these all came out upside down, which is interesting. Yeah. So I will read them in their challenge positions, but I think I'll just turn them around for ease so you can see them all. But I think what we've got going on here is some kind of resistance to looking at our fears and our insecurities, and we've got some kind of subconscious blockages, I think, to whatever situation we are in. We are presented with changes, we're presented with new challenges, new beginnings, and areas in which we need to develop and grow within, and perhaps we are really, really resistant to looking at ourselves and doing shadow work, and it is lending to this feeling of anxiety around these tasks that we have to go ahead and do in our everyday lives. And I think as well there is a lot of defensiveness here, and I think in this situation we are almost so defensive that we could perhaps be projecting a lot of our fears in our subconscious and in our shadows onto others, quite likely, and not really treating others with the respect that they deserve, potentially. I think that that could be quite likely, that we are coming from a place of fear. I think just by turning them upright again though, we can see how we might remedy some of this fear, and I think that by looking at some of the things that we have achieved in the past, you know, some of the ways in which our goals have worked out, and looking at the ways in which we have managed to battle with some inner demons perhaps, or some of the things that we have managed to do successfully in the past before we've started on in this chapter, can really, really help to give us some confidence and give us some more momentum as well. I also think that it could be just time to rest. In this card, this person is so low. Their defenses are up because they are so exhausted, and actually, you know, there's this spiraling here, and so instead of, you know, putting all this pressure on ourselves to perform and to move forward as if everything was normal and everything is fine when we know that it is not, instead of doing that, we can start to look at ourselves, and we can perhaps go a bit easier on ourselves and actually say, you know what, these are the mistakes I've made. Okay, so even writing them down from a shadow work perspective, looking at those inner fears and sort of saying, okay, well, this is the way I've been behaving because XYZ, and really going into each prompt and looking at why something might be affecting us or triggering us in a certain way, and then saying, okay, well, that is something that I have done, and that is something that, you know, I need to take full responsibility for, and it has been misguided in a way, you know, foolish, and it has been not in its most balanced state of mind, and actually I need to give myself a break. So I look at where I have made mistakes, I look at where I have not been doing my best, but I don't give myself grief for that. I don't then attack myself and go into this spiral of, you know, berating myself and being cruel to myself. You know, that's only going to make things worse, because I feel like where we are right now, we're really in a place where we need to nurture ourselves and give ourselves some love, you know. And I think what comes to mind is, some people I know like to buy themselves flowers, and what comes to mind is, buy yourself a bunch of flowers. Or, you know, if you can't go to the shops right now because of the situation, get out into nature. Spend some time with your beloved furry one, or with your kids, in a way that doesn't put pressure on you. So for me, I'm doing a lot of homeschooling, there is a lot of pressure on us. But if I take ourselves out of the context and I just say, okay, today we're not going to do it, we're going to go out for a walk instead, we're going to go out for a walk and we're going to play and just start to look at life in a more playful way. And I know there's so much going on, there's so much on our shoulders, there seems to be so much to be concerned about. It feels like the world is on our shoulders. It feels like we've got our defences up, we are waiting for the next blow. But actually we need to be able to stop and enjoy the air on our skin and breathing in the air and feeling it in our hair and on our skin. And we need to be able to enjoy our furry loved ones. We need to be able to enjoy playing with our kids, get out into nature, get grounded, enjoy the flowers, and then when it's right, you know, come to this place where we can, if we feel well enough to really look at some of these fears and projections that are going on and how we can start to come to a place of more balance so that we are not feeling this need to be so defensive all the time, or to have our defenses up and to feel like we're on edge all the time, because I just feel like there's so much anxiety and so much like fear coming from this spread in itself, because it was all reversed. And I think if we almost literally think about flipping the card upright and what can we do in this situation right now? Okay, we feel like this. Okay, it doesn't feel nice, it doesn't feel good, but what can we do to make ourselves feel good right now? And sometimes we can't do a lot. Sometimes we have to accept that and we have to be okay with that. We have to meet ourselves where we are. Sometimes we can't do shadow work. Sometimes it's not healthy to do shadow work, and I will just say that as well. And if people are struggling with mental health, then just because it is harder to see doctors at the moment doesn't mean that there aren't people there who can help you. So if you aren't able to get to a doctor's surgery right now because of the situation, then you can always call on the phone and get a call back, get a referral, get some medication, you know, get some speaking therapies over the phone even. That is something that they do. That is something that a lot of therapists do. That is something that a lot of authorities will do. In the UK we have the NHS, and there are ways to get support through the NHS. And so I would just say, if people are struggling, that, you know, reaching out and seeking that support is really, really important. But I do think we need to take care of ourselves, because obviously things are out of balance here, and it's really, really time to look at those things and be honest and do the shadow work if we feel well enough to. But if we can't do that, then it's just holding space for ourselves where we are right now. You know, if we are feeling in this way, what we really need is, you know, a cuddle maybe from someone we love. If we can't do that, a cuddle from a furry friend. If we can't even do that, then maybe we need to watch something really funny on TV. Maybe we need to read a comforting book, you know, that we've always loved. Curl up with hot chocolate. You know, I really like to make hot chocolate and put intentions for self-love inside it. Run a really nice hot bath. Get to bed early. Start to rebalance yourself out. Drink plenty of water, and really just take care of your body where you are. Take care of your mind where you are. Don't put lots and lots of pressure on yourself to achieve goals, to achieve things that you normally might be, if the situation weren't what it were, because that's not going to help you where you are. If this is helpful to anyone at all, I'd really, really love to hear in the comments box below. It might well be a spread for me as well, because I do think that I have fears at the moment, and I do think that I am feeling very, very exhausted and very defensive about certain things. And so yeah, this is something that I'm going to work with as well right now. I'm sorry this hasn't been a more jolly spread, but there are definitely things here that we can do to help ourselves. And ultimately, you know, we can turn these cards around and we can glean advice for them, and that's what makes the tarot so, so special and beautiful. And we can forge forward, move forward with courage and strength in our hearts, and do the right thing, you know, and help others to do the right thing as well. And we all make mistakes. We all make those mistakes. So let's try not to be too harsh on ourselves. Let's try and give ourselves the love and the compassion that we would give to a best friend. And if you can't see people, then speaking on the phone is so, so helpful as well. So call a friend and be there for them, reach out for them, and, you know, if you need support, reach out to them and ask for that support back as well, because, you know, any friend or any loved one who really loves you and values you will sit there and talk to you and help you through it. This is a really tough time for so many people, and I really just want to send blessings and hope and love to the universe, to all of you, wherever you are, whatever you are going through right now. So that was the walkthrough and a sample reading of the True Heart Intuitive Tarot from Rachel True with artwork by Stephanie Singleton. I really hope that you've enjoyed the walkthrough and that this has given some food for thought. If it's been interesting or insightful or helpful in any way, then please do like the video. Leave a comment below if you have anything further to add, or if you'd like to ask any questions about the deck, I'd be happy to answer. Do share it with anyone who you think would be interested in seeing. And also, if you'd like to see more from me around tarot, witchcraft, magic, spirituality, and those kinds of topics, then please do think about subscribing. And while you're subscribing, don't forget to hit that little bell notification, because that's how YouTube's going to let you know when I create and upload videos just like this. So with all that said, thank you again so much for joining me. Take care of yourselves, stay well and safe. Give yourself love, compassion. We've got this, and together we can get through this. Thank you again so much for joining me. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Many blessings. Bye.